ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
It is a glorious Thursday indeed to be alive, Charlie. How do you feel on this glorious Thursday?
I feel like I'm having an allergic reaction.
You know it's Thursdays because I'm drinking some Long Day Lager by Red Hair, straight out of Marietta, Georgia. Oh, yeah.
And I'm drinking Smittix and Sons from Ireland.
So we got locals and we got the imports. We got it all here at Ultra
And I've also
Confusion.
got something from Texas.
Oh my!
Oh my!
Charlie is going to clear out his palate because
Indeed, I'm
sometimes
trying.
you get a little-
I'm trying to wet my whistle so that I can talk right.
Please don't talk about your whistle on the show. We might have kids on here.
Hey, it's not that kind of whistle.
What other kind of whistle is there?
The kind you. Never mind. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Ultra Confused. Of course, I am your host Charlie, and that is Zelius. We do this show every single Thursday night from 8 p.m. Eastern Time to 9:15. Sometimes it goes longer, sometimes it goes shorter. You may have noticed that last week we had a gentleman by the name of Jason here because Zelius was at a robotic tournament. Tournament, not tournament. I don't know what tournament,
It was
tournament,
actually
whatever.
the World Championship.
Tomato, tomato. Anyways, so Jason filled in, and unfortunately, we did not have a set list. And so
That's never happened on the show before. How do you guys survive without a set list? I don't
we
understand.
flew by the seat of our pants.
Where'd the paints go?
Well, they ripped.
That sounds
Thank you.
That sounds awkward.
Thank you, J. Steve 1. All right, so ladies and gentlemen,
Did somebody sew up your pants live on the show?
no.
No, okay.
Funny story.
Please do tell about your pants.
Yeah, actually,
I
ironically, it has to do with my pants.
All right.
So,
Does it have to do with your wife and your pants?
no.
Okay.
So last week, was it last week? Yeah, last week
I was
is
here.
when my son got tubes in. And my wife and I are freaking out because we get him to the hospital and we're like, oh my God, we didn't bring an extra set of clothes for him.
Oh no!
And we're like, oh, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. We're fine. However, for some unknown reason, my pants start splitting and it won't stop. So I'm literally going, what the shit is going on?
What are you doing to your pants?
Nothing. I'm just sitting in a fucking chair and my pants are just splitting. I'm just like, so I'm like holding Julie's, my wife's bag in front of me like, oh, no. Oh, kind of weird. But anyways, that was my pants story. All right, so ladies and gentlemen.
That's kind of weird.
I know. So you may notice that my voice is fluctuating a little bit, and I'm going to try to fix that right here, right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, a drum roll, please. Brrr. I need you to drum roll, moron. Drum roll! Oh, God. Oh, God. That's a terrible idea.
I know. I don't know why you never asked me to do a drum roll with anybody in the world. Like, I'm the least musically talented person ever on the face of the planet. So I think we do anything musical on the show. I don't know why Charlie would even ask, because he knows how bad I am.
How old were the pants? Fuck if I know.
They were older than Charlie.
No.
So where are the pants now?
I don't know.
Are they still like in your closet? If I'm gonna pull them out one day to wear, if you get like out somewhere,
No.
and like, holy shit, there's a hole in my pants. When did this happen?
No, damn it.
It's totally
no.
gonna happen.
No.
I know you, and you keep stuff.
Yeah. My wife won't let that come back into the house. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Do you feel better now?
Much better. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into the show. We, of course, try to have a couple of topics ready for you, lovely ladies and gentlemen, to talk about on the show. And of course, this show is all for you. So if you at any time have any topics or want to throw some opinions in or whatever, please feel free to drop them in the chat room, and we will try to pick them up as fast as possible.
Please feel free to talk about Charlie's pants.
Now, I know that some people are like, this looks different. I'm still playing around with a couple little things here. First of all, the chat window is back, even though it was a little bit of an issue last week because we had one heck of a troll, and our own personal troll had to miss it. So we didn't have anyone combating said troll.
Wait, couldn't you just like click on the button and be like, boop, boop?
Well, we tried to set them straight, and
okay.
and we gave them a couple warnings.
Fair.
However, if we had our favorite troll watching the show, then we would have just left it in their hands because they are a moderator.
They would smack him down.
Oh, yes.
Or like fight him without. They would have just beat him up. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Yeah.
They would screw with them. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, the first topic is something that we talked about a lot. And I think in general, gamers have been talking about this a lot, and that, of course, is in-game loot boxes.
Oh, my.
So in-game loot boxes, of course, is basically you pay real money for this box. Sorry. You pay real money for these fancy special currency to buy an in-game box. That it's basically gambling. That's actually what a lot of countries have been claiming is it's gambling. Because
And people. I agree.
Oh yeah. So what's happened is, you pay real money to gain these coins or crystals or globes or,
Stuff.
warthog farts or whatever the hell it is, and
Does the smell come out of your phone?
it's smell-o-vision, man. Smell-o-vision. So anyways, so you basically pay for this treasure chest or this box or crate or barrel or whatever the hell it is, and then you get a random item.
Very random.
Very
RNG
random.
gods pray to
It
thee.
could be anything. So there's been a lot of crackdown on this, especially on the mobile platform. Yes, you're right. Overwatch definitely has this issue. Paladins has it. But one of the actual platforms that's been getting hit the hardest is, the mobile platform, specifically the iPhones. So basically the Apple App Store. Apple App Store, yeah. Where basically you have to disclose in your thing, this is, you have to, there's a chance that you may not have exactly what you want when you buy this thing. Well, anyways, the Dutch have decided that it's illegal and have basically told all the developers you need to scratch that shit out of the game in order to play it in our country.
So, on one hand, I agree that loot boxes are gambling. I fully agree with the premise. Loot boxes are gambling, and it's form. That's what they are to me. However, I also think that there should be nuance in how do you approach loot boxes.
True.
And what I mean by that is Overwatch, for instance, as we're talking about, I don't mind Overwatch loot boxes because they have no implication on gameplay whatsoever.
Same with Paladins.
Yeah, you buy $40, $60, whatever is for your full game. Paladins is free to play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, free to play. So you buy it, and at that
Well,
point,
it's free to play, but if you really want to play it, you want to get the Founders Pack, so that's a $20 buy-in.
correct, but that's not loot boxes. You're just paying.
No,
for
no,
it.
right. So, I mean,
Well,
it's free to start.
I have a question. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the one place where I might disagree with a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of Paladins. Those loot boxes unlock stat increases and card increases for your characters. I thought. No.
No, it did for half a second, and then they rolled that shit back.
Okay.
The boxes are simply cosmetic now.
Sure. In that case, I have no problem with it. The one thing that I still wish, even in Overwatch, that they're better about is knowing basically what are my percentages of getting these items. And I feel like even Overwatch, I'm like, okay.
It would be nice.
What are my chances of getting a skin out of this? Because I really honestly don't care about emotes or the sprays you can do. Like that other stuff, I want the cool skins. That's what I'm in it for.
J-Stiff won the worst loot box / crystals in mobile game contest of champions. He can speak on this through experience. Let me think about which one. I'm sure that I've bought like some type of like loot box or something.
Well, but here's the thing where it gets even more tricky with loot boxes, right? So another game that I used to play a lot is Idle Heroes, right?
Yep.
So when you buy, there's not actually loot crates in the game. What you do is kind of going back to the crystals that Jay Steve is talking about. You buy crystals, then pray to the RNG gods when you summon your monster, or your companion, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of these mobile games, they don't really, I think, have loot boxes. It's more so you buy gems to then raise randomized characters. And that's where the RNG part really comes into it with the gameplay, because you need to get the right characters to really proceed.
Okay, so there's actually a game that I've played and have shown off a lot, and the more I think about it, the more it falls into this category, and that of course is Isle Champions of the Forgotten Realm, where you have your normal treasure chest that you can either obtain through the levels. It's a clicker game, by the way, just in case you didn't know that, based in the Forgotten Realms of Dungeons and Dragons. But
Is Driz T in it?
Huh?
Driz T in it?
No. But what I will say is that, so they'll have like these short run campaigns, and in them there's special treasure chests that you can gain. Mostly you have to complete a quest. However, it is possible to buy additional chests. Each chest contains items that will increase your character stats. There's for the Idol Crusaders of the Lost Idol. No, yeah, Crusaders of the Lost Idol, which is the first game. It wasn't as like they added like a level of complexity for the Forgotten Realms one, where you can get the same item again and it just levels up that that item instead of replacing. Excuse me, and but still, it is gambling because you don't know what's going to be in the thing, and you're trying to specifically level up the characters that you want to do. Now, the one thing about the Idol Champions that I kind of like is the fact that every single level kind of has a little bit of different stuff. I mean, there's several different levels that have different formations and stuff, and you gotta really know what your characters are. Who can boost everything. But at the same time, you are still at the end of the day trying to buy treasure chests to pump up your characters so they can actually go far into the game.
And of course, the reality is a lot of, especially these mobile games, are pay to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can technically play the game for free, but the overwhelming majority of them are if you don't actually invest extra money into it. I'm not just talking $10.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough free to win, play to win games that have dropped $5-10 in. Sure, why not? But I'm talking games where if you don't drop like hundreds of dollars into the game, you're never going to be able to compete with the other whales, as we call them.
Absolutely.
So that's, to me, the also frustrating part of these games sometimes is it's such a monetary investment if you want to get to the top of the board. So it's nothing to do with skill or strategy. It's that, yes.
It's so much based on gambling. You put money to get the eye candy or something that will move you forward. Yeah. Yes, free-to-play are absolutely free-to-play are dangerous. And to be honest with you, I know this is going to sound weird, and maybe it doesn't sound weird, but one of the biggest offenders of the free-to-play that turns into pay to win, is match 3 games. Holy ballsack. Do they try to nickel and dime the shite out of you?
I don't really play any of the match 3 games.
So I like to do it because it's mindless. I like to have a little bit of story to it. You're trying to collect these different items to unlock this. But there are certain match 3 games where they literally just decrease the amount of moves as the difficulty. And of course, you're gonna need to spend some money so you can get some extra moves because you're not gonna win this. And there's other ones where as the difficulty, when you go back and play other levels, the difficulty increases. They add some stuff and they make it interesting. But chances are they're gonna be like, you know what? You're not really playing the real experience. Let's be honest. You really need to spend some money.
Of course, the original, really bad contributor to that was
Farmville.
Well, okay. The thing that was annoying about Farmville
is PUBG free.
On the mobile, it is, yes.
Not on Steam.
On Steam, I think you have to pay.
I will find out for you.
Thank you. So Farmville, the annoying thing about Farmville wasn't necessarily the pay-to-win aspects. Remember, it was the friend spamming on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
Because you had to get all your energy, and that's when, after a while, that's when Facebook started to crack down on the spamming by your friends. Now you just get advertising spam from Russia.
PUBG is $30.
Wow. So instead of getting friend spam, you get Russia spam, but whatever. But remember, you got like all your friends because you had to have X number of friends play the game to get more energy in the game.
Oh, that is some bullshit. Okay,
it's not as bad as it used to be, but now.
For real quick, PUBG is $30 on Steam. Was it 30 or did I say 20?
It was Bejeweled though. What? No, not Bejeweled. What was that game called? Candy Crush.
Okay, yes, Candy Crush.
That was kind of the first of I know there's a lot of pay-to-win games, but the first that kind of blew the marketplace up because Candy Crush was a known game where what they did intentionally was when, let's just say for fun, level 10, you gave a little extra boost to matching. What it intentionally did then was you went up to levels is it increased your difficulty more than if you had not purchased anything. So it forced players who purchased something throughout the game is it magnified your difficulty to force you to increase to purchase stuff.
Okay, I just remember what I was going to say. So I know we keep going on the Facebook games because that's really where all this in-app stuff is hitting home across the board. It's not that every average Joe is not playing games on your phone or whatever, but the vast majority of individuals who are going to be playing games, they're probably going to be playing on Facebook, unless your corporation, your company, or whatever has blocked Facebook.
Hotspot.
Hello. But that being said, one of the biggest issues that I have with Facebook games, period, is this: you have to have friends in order to advance through the game. I understand they're trying to increase their fan base, their player base. However, how much of a kick in the balls is it if you don't really have any friends? Like, and it's not one of those like you can gain random friends. You have to invite individuals who are actual Facebook friends. That sucks.
I don't really see that as much as I used to.
It's rarer now.
But like,
you gain like bonuses off of having friends now instead of you can't unlock the next level unless you have 6 friends.
I mean, a couple of years ago, it was really bad. Where like every game on Facebook did it. It was just obnoxious.
Especially the hidden object games, where it's like it's usually some kind of like crime theme.
Okay.
Where it's like you have to solve a case, and then once you've solved the case, they're like, your friends need to help you on this next case. Go find 3 friends. I'm like, no, I don't have friends. I just want to play the fucking game. Like, nope, okay, no. But you're right. I mean, there are a lot of nickel and diming equations. So let's be honest. When you go to AAA titles, I mean, they're kind of nickel and diming you as well, especially since you don't get the whole fucking game. But
well, that's why I like Overwatch. Is because you pay $40, whatever it is, you get the whole game. You're done. Even Paladins, you pay $20, you get every character.
Yeah.
I like that. I like.
Now,
tell me what the price is. Give me the damn game.
Okay, so there is a little bit of interesting little like weirdness about Paladins, and that is that you do have the ability to level up your character via the base currency of coins. However, it does not have, well...
I thought that increased your viability in the game.
Okay, so it's kind of weird, okay? So leveling up doesn't actually do anything. Except for maybe unlock like a skin or an emote. However,
but there's those cards that like increase the card's levels.
There's no levels to the cards.
Did that change?
Yeah.
There was at one time. I'm not mentioning.
Right. No. Right. What's happening now is that
like I thought
if you don't have the Founders Pack, okay, and you use your gold to level up your character, what you can do is you can unlock the legendary card.
Okay.
So it's basically it's not an advantage because if you've got the Founders Pack, you've already got all 4. When you go into Paladins, and when it first loads into Paladins, it shows you 4 different legendary options, and then your loadout.
But you can increase those legendary skills. At least when I played.
Not anymore.
So, because I remember like I used to play the engineer guy, you could like increase all this shit. It's no longer true.
So what you can do is you choose a single legendary.
Yes.
There's no leveling up of the legendary anymore, which sucks because I pumped the shit out of one of them.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like kind of like a grinding
I
thing.
kill everybody. No, you get for Paladins you get 5 cards. That's your loadout, and you have 15 points to distribute between these 5 cards.
Oh.
So I mean you can basically.
So they've really overhauled that since I played.
Well, actually, to be honest with you, that's how it originally was, and they started dicking around with it, and they dicked around for more, a little dicking around there, and all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? The original way is probably the best, so let's go back to that. I'm like, has anyone not heard of in-house testing? Fuck!
And that is one thing, because having played quite a bit of both Paladins and Overwatch, I personally think Overwatch is a superior first-player shooter, pretty much every metric, but the one thing I do like that makes Paladins unique and kind of gives it its unique flair is the card system. It really allows you to customize your characters and really build a unique strategy for your characters by doing different loadouts and allocating your points that you can't do in Overwatch. So I really do like that part of Paladins where you can make very unique characters and do stuff. So I really appreciate that. Paladins, it's very easy for first-person shooters just to be cookie cutters. I know I've made fun of Paladins for doing that for the characters, but they really weren't because of the way they do the different cards and legendaries. So I think that's cool that they do that to really give each character multiple unique ways to play that character. Even if if you have a favorite character, if Fernando is your favorite character, you can also play Fernando multiple different ways depending on how you do his loadout.
Funny story, real quick. Side note: I was playing Paladins, Tuesday, and we were playing Onslaught. So basically, it's capture capture. No, it's King of the Hill, where your team's trying to hold the spot in the middle of the thing until you get to 400 points.
Mm-hmm.
This team absolutely massacred the shit out of my team. We couldn't even get out of the fucking base. They had Fernando sitting on the damn point, all right? And they had it's the magistrate one where it's like you come down, you go to those stairs, and there's like 2 levels, right? They had 2 people sitting at the top, 2 on each side, watching for us to come out. And as soon as we came out, they just like balls to the wall, like drove us right back into our base. We couldn't even see the damn thing.
That's brutal.
And of course, you know, I was talking just about J Steve 1 earlier, was that it's a casual game, ladies and gentlemen. When I play casual mode, I'm there for fun. Yeah, I might get a little frustrated, but I'm not going to start calling out people being a total asshat. And of course, there was one of my teammates going, "Fuck it, I don't care. You guys don't really want to play this game anyways." I'm like, dude, we're getting our asses kicked. You got your ass kicked.
If I want that show, I'll go play competitive. And that's why I don't play competitive Overwatch.
This is why I had to quit
Smite. Yeah.
It's because I did play.
You played competitive for a bit.
I played competitive and I played casual, but the problem was, the thing is, competitive has its own stress, okay? Because you really don't want to fuck up because you're kind of like on a bigger stage. However, when I was playing casual, especially for Smite, there's this thing called what's it called? Onslaught? I can't remember. There's one where it's a single lane.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And it's not Onslaught, it's something else. But anyways, it's a single lane, okay? And let me preface this, okay? You are assigned a random god.
So you choose your god. Who's your best god?
You don't get to choose.
You don't get to choose.
And I can't tell you how many people are like, "You don't even know how to play this character. What the shit, man? You should uninstall the game now." No shit, Sherlock. I don't know how to play this character. It was randomly assigned to me. So go do something.
That's awesome.
What the?
Yeah.
That just bothers the crap out of me. Look, casual is supposed to be relaxing. Yes, you can get pissed off. If you've watched me do any of my streams, you'll know that I'll be screaming and yelling at people. But I'm not going to put it in the fucking chat. It's for if someone's watching me, like, yeah, that guy was a douchebag. But I'm not going to actually try to target the actual player in the game. Maybe they had an off game. Or maybe they just learning how to play this character. I am not going to rain on their parade. I'm not going to piss in their cornflakes. Fun fact though, if you play Paladins with a controller, you disable the chat window the vast majority of the time. So if anyone's bitching and moaning at me, I don't see it. Because I'm that weirdo. I play Paladins with a controller.
That is odd.
I know.
No, that's also why that's why I stopped playing Smite. At least with Overwatch, I find that the casual play, quick play, it's not really that toxic. I mean, yes, every once in a while you're going to get this stupid douchebag. That's every game. For the most part, the community is pretty decent for quick play.
Yes.
But Smite,
oh dear God,
it was like I never came close to competitive. It was still just terrible. Just tons of flaming everywhere in Smite. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, it just got to not be fun anymore.
Well, that's why it's funny on Overwatch, people who to play their beat and get mad no one wants to play tank or healer. Yeah, that's the other thing that pisses me off. Like, we're going into, even if it's a casual match, okay? You understand that, especially for Paladins, when you're playing Siege, okay? Which is, the teams have to capture the point and then escort the payload back to the enemy's base, okay? You cannot do it if you do not have at least one frontliner. I mean, you could, but it's fucking impossible.
Well, it's the thing with Overwatch. You need to have usually a shield tank to really be successful, for the most part. Now, the other corollary to that it causes is you kind of look at it the other way. So right now in Overwatch, well, it's been this way basically since the beginning, it's called the 2-2-2 meta, which basically means you should have 2 tank players, 2 healer players, or slash DPS, I mean not DPS, healer slash support, and then 2 DPS. They're the
6?
That's 6. Yeah, there's 6 players in Overwatch. But the other issue that it kind of causes is if a player chooses a character who's not like totally in the meta, and say they choose like a Mei, for instance, because Mei's not meta, then people will start flaming even before the match has started. Then, because it's not the true 2-2-2 meta, then they get flamed like out of the wazoo while they're waiting in the gate. It's like, guys, maybe it's a 2-3-1 meta. I don't know, but let's just wait to start the match because maybe they're a god at this player with this other off character, and it can work, especially at the lower level matches. Because I'm bronze and silver player, I'm not that good. I think these lower level matches, any of these off meta players can totally just pwn the other team. So let's just give it like a couple of minutes, and maybe they're gonna carry our team. Like, and that's the problem because players get so locked into the 2-2-2. What ends up happening is they also end up choosing players who they're not very good with. Like I would much rather. Well, we'll just go back to Mei. I'd rather a player who's really good with Mei and can freeze the hell out of everyone choose her over playing, let's just say, a Reinhardt, a tank, but they're not very good with Reinhardt. They're just not a character they play. I'd rather choose them play really good Mei.
But we'll never change up the character mid-game.
Versus that. Which is weird because that's another big difference between Smite and, Paladins and Overwatch. Paladins, neither one's better or worse to me. It's just two totally different ways. Paladins, you choose your character stuck with the entire game.
Yep.
Overwatch.
And your layout.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Overwatch, you pick a character you can change. And to me, that's a very intentional choice by Blizzard. Because Blizzard is all about, or Overwatch, is all about counters. There's very strong counters to certain characters. For instance, Reinhardt's counter is definitely, oh my gosh, total brain fart. The guy with the shotgun, Reaper. Like, Reaper is a tank.
I was going to say,
counter.
Buck!
So if you choose somebody, who's getting like smacked around and our tanks are killing us, one of your opponents needs to change to Reaper to kill him, to kill those tanks. And that's what Overwatch is a lot about, those counters, which might, God forbid, get out of the 2-2-2 meta. And then people start flaming you. So.
Oh God!
That's
He's too close to the top!
Oh my gosh, don't spill it all!
Don't rock the table! Ah! I got it!
Mayday! I'm glad you didn't have any ice in there. That could be an epic fail if you had big ice cubes.
Well, the ice kind of melted.
Yeah, you got some tiny ones.
We're good.
But that's
Sorry,
why
I was doing the do.
But that's why it's weird to me, Jay, Steve, that people don't really change characters because, like, Overwatch is made for you to change characters. Because if you're losing, you probably should change characters.
It would be nice to be able to do that in Paladins. However, that would cause some weird-ass stuff, I think, in my own opinion.
How so?
So Paladins is a 5v5. It's not 6v6.
Okay.
The current meta is 2 frontliners, and then either you're probably doing 2 frontliners and a healer, and then the last 2 could be anything. It could be 2 damage, 2 flanks, damage flank, an additional healer and a flank, whatever. Yeah. But you have to have those 2 frontliners, and one has got to be the offensive, and one's got to be the defensive.
Gotcha.
So usually when you're playing Paladins, for those of you out there who play Paladins, Makoa is definitely in for the defensive frontliners, or Fernando, though Makoa is preferable over Fernando. Simply because Paladins is more a MOBA? Zelius?
I don't think so. I think the difference between Paladins and Overwatch is the maps. The maps for Paladins I find to be much more contained and focused, like right away you're already on the enemy. Like Overwatch, you kind of, your spawn, unless they're spawn camping, of course, which does happen. You kind of have to like, hike over to wherever your point is versus Paladins. I mean, you can have your gate, boom, you're right there. The big thing that kind of adds the MOBA element to me, though, is, which you don't have in Paladins, is you have, like, objectives. Like you're taking down a tower or something like that, and that you do not have in Paladins.
No. Ironically, though, if you listen, okay, this is the thing that pisses me off, or makes me, like, scratch my head, about Paladins. Yes, Smite is absolutely a
And
MOBA.
Smite is kind of that over the third shoulder kind of first-person shooter.
third quarter
kind
view.
of. So it does feel So of the MOBAs, I've played every MOBA pretty much there is. Smite is my favorite MOBA from a gameplay aspect because that over the shoulder gives it the most like action oriented. Because I gone from Smite to League of Legends or Dota 2 or any of those others, I feel it's very slow.
Heroes of the Storm.
HOTS is the closest
Okay.
that it's come to Smite because it's so fast paced. I mean, HOTS match is over in 15 to 20 minutes. Which I know Smite matches can drag on, but it's still more action oriented. So HOTS comes close to Smite. But after playing Smite, I don't like LoL anymore.
Okay, so I was going to add a couple 2 cents, but I don't remember what the hell I was talking about.
Something about Paladins, probably?
I'm sure it was, but at this
know.
point. So, anywho. All right, so the other topic that was pre-selected.
There's a pre-selected more topics?
Pre-select. Okay, so Jay Stibbs goes, yeah, Paladins, I played that. I played the guy with the horse. I wrecked playing my first game like a month ago. Okay.
A horse?
So every character rides on a horse into combat. So saying that they have a horse is like...
When you say running in a horse, I think of the Old Spice commercial.
But the game I forgot. I died. I don't know.
The game I forgot.
I don't know. Anyways, so there's some crazy news out there. The other story that we would like to talk about is there was some crazy news, and that of course revolves around the individual named Billy Mitchell, the shooter guy with a gun. Okay.
That's like every FPS ever made.
What is your talk show about? What is our talk show about, ladies and gentlemen?
Video games!
Our talk show is about anything, video games, dirty stuff. Well, basically, it is an audience-driven show in which we talk about the topics that are kind of relevant into our realm that are provided by you, or we have some preset topics, like we were talking about in-game loot boxes. We were going to load into... Wait, what? The shooter guy with gun? I don't even know. In Paladins, never mind. Do you like Nazebo in HOTS?
Honestly, I haven't played HOTS in like a year.
I've
tried them out. I mean, I've tried them out. I liked HOTS. I'm not a huge MOBA fan. I just want to try them.
I do think it's very interesting that HOTS has kind of like gained this like foothold into the college community with the Heroes of the Dorm tournament that they do every single time. That's pretty damn cool. And now you see a bunch of other esports games going to the college ranks, especially like League of Legends. But anyways, the next topic deals with an individual by the name of Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell may not, raise any flags to the vast majority of individuals, but have you ever heard of King of Kong? It's a documentary about an individual who basically is the super duper awesomeness of Donkey Kong.
Oh, I have heard of that before. I have heard the story, yes.
So, Billy Mitchell apparently has I don't know if it's the perfect score or just short of the perfect score. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it turns out he cheated.
No! Did he just be wearing Handsom's eyeglasses?
No. What he did was he had a custom cabinet that was running an emulator. It wasn't the original game.
What makes an emulator? Is the original game emulating the game in its own way on its own microprocessor?
So an emulator would be that it's not running on its own. It's a set configuration. It would be probably a newer computer, so you'd be able to keep up with the graphics and everything. There wouldn't be any type of lag. You could go to zero latency, so there wouldn't be a lot of weird janky stuff that you would see in the older the older arcade machines. So what happened was, of course, everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's amazing!" And the cabinet looks. I mean, it is the original Donkey Kong cabinet. However, someone finally apparently was like, we got to see the innards here because something's weird. Because they watched it play and it looks almost perfect. But something's a little bit off. And when they did some investigation, they found that it's not the actual original hardware nor software there. It was emulated. It was a customized board. And
now here's the question. So these high scores, I'm guessing like Guinness Book of World Records or something.
Yes, yes.
Does it actually stipulate in these record-holding books that it must be the original like cabinet game for your high score to take place? Like, is there actual requirements? I'm kind of curious.
I would assume so, simply because it's not like Will Chamberlain's 100 points in a single game in the NBA.
I did that. Whatever.
Right. However, someone would be like, well, I played in something called the National Basketball Aces League, and I scored 120 points, but you're not going to beat Will Chamberlain because it's not the same thing.
Fair enough.
So, if he wants to stay in the Guinness Book of World Records, there'd probably have to be a caveat to it. There'd be like on an emulated system instead of on the original hardware. It's like it's a lot like all the speed runs. If you do it on the original like NES, like the Super Mario Brothers speed runs, if you do it on the original NES, that's a totally different thing than if you did an NES emulator on your computer, because you can actually speed up the time in that during areas that you knew nothing was there. Let's see here. What do you think of Rocket League? I cannot play Rocket League to save my life. It's interesting, and I've watched it, and I'm just like, I would get so lost in it.
I feel like I need more Adderall to be good at it, or performance-enhancing drugs, or something.
All right, so
I just have the skills to
since we have the audience here, and Zelius already knows where I'm going to go with this, but we're going to ask you again. Do you, on the esports, in the pro esports level, should Adderall be considered a performance-enhancing drug? Because the question that you have to follow up with is, if an individual requires Adderall to be able to function, would they not be able to take the Adderall during their matches? And because that could be detrimental to the individual, because they get bounced out by the Adderall. It's not an actual, enhancement. It's more of like it regulates them.
And of course, the trick is you get to the slippery slope argument where, well, okay then.
You get a doctor note.
Yeah, I get a doctor's note. So
which is what you should be getting. If you have Adderall, you better as hell have a doctor note. Because if you don't, let's just put it this way. When an individual picks up a prescription for Adderall, you get carded, and it gets inputted into a database. So if you have Adderall, but you're not in the database, you're effed.
I think my compromise for like esports leagues is, let's just take Overwatch for instance. Blizzard has a board certified etc. doctor who Blizzard feels comfortable with giving these, they meet with the esports athlete. They're like, I need Adderall. And so that way it's a level playing field for these guys to say, I need Adderall to compete, or to, let's just say, function even. Then that way everybody's on the same playing field, instead of this potential, which could easily happen, of basically you just go to a doctor and say I'm crazy and they give you Adderall.
Yep.
And that way you have one doctor or two doctors, whatever, kind of like the concussion doctor that you're supposed to have in the NFL. Right. A third-party doctor who has who is supposed to have no affiliation to the team or players, and can be a very independent arbitrator.
It's good in theory. However, there's no way that someone is completely immune to corruption. You give them the right thing, you give them the right persuasion.
I know, but I think you can be pretty.
Right.
I think you can pretty well mitigate, though, if you really want to.
I know that there was, I think it was like, Call of Duty? Or no, Counter-Strike was the big one where people were going, yeah, Adderall, that is a performance-enhancing drug, because it allowed them to focus and do crazy shit in Counter-Strike. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I will never play Counter-Strike. And to be honest with you, I don't play any first-person shooter where it's like human against human. I just don't like that. I want to have a fantasy, futuristic type of environment. Halo, totally cool. I will kill the Covenant all day long.
Kill, kill, kill.
Gears of War, I will kill a Locust all day long.
Death to Locust.
But I can't play can't play Call of Duty. I really cannot. Battlefield, can't do it because
It's just too.
I need like to be easily able to separate reality from fiction.
But here's the difference, though: is this is how you feel about video games,
Right.
But you're not like out here saying like you should not play video games because it's too realistic.
No.
You know, it's just that's how you feel, which is fine. But you're not trying to change how we play video games based on your opinion.
Warcraft 3.
Wow, but now we're pulling it back. Okay, Warcraft 3, it's all about the mods, man.
So I came in Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, and then Warcraft 3. Actually, I played the demo of Warcraft 1, then went to try to get it at the computer store. It didn't have Warcraft 1, they only had Warcraft 2. So I played 2 and 3. The one issue that I had with 3 is I wasn't actually totally sold on like the graphical look of it. That was really all that. I mean, it's a great game, don't get me wrong, but like I like the look of like the sprites of Warcraft 2 versus the more like poly-esque polygon stuff going on in Warcraft 3.
Yeah, I like it. The problem I always get to is when I'm playing any kind of RTS games, is when I get to the ship stages.
Ship?
Like where you have to basically like the water stages.
Oh, right.
Like there's just something, I don't know what it is. I have this like weird mental block when I have to start loading up all my troops like onto a boat or airplane or something and transport them
Do
all at
you
once.
lose the boat in the middle of the sea?
Yes, and then you'll die. And I don't know where my troops are. and it's
Where
just
did I
frustrating.
go? Everybody
So-
left me.
That's where I always stop playing this game. I don't know why. It's just something about it.
What about Civ?
I always play like landlocked.
Oh,
I play
yeah.
like Archipelagos.
How do you
where
guys
it's just
feel
like
on
landlocked.
League of Legends being in the meta of MOBAs?
I mean, they've earned the right. They've earned. I mean, you have basically the Defense of the Ancients creator who came over to League of Legends
Yeah.
and created it. But at the same time, you know, each of the other, you know, MOBA extensions have kind of done their unique things, so to speak. You know, Dota 2, they do, you know, it's more hardcore.
Hardcore, man.
Yeah, it's hardcore, man. Than League of Legends. HOTS is, it's still a MOBA. Blizzard doesn't even call it a MOBA.
No.
Sorry, it's still a MOBA. But they still do a unique take on it. And that's why here's my problem with, I struggle with a game like League of Legends or a game of Smite. You have an agenda to kill the other towers and stuff, but there's no kind of like early to mid game strategy other than just kind of like poking and killing minions. And that's why like HOTS, what Blizzard did with their version of a MOBA is you have like the inter-game quest to go do XYZ to kind of fill that gap, to kind of really direct the players. And that's why I really like HOTS.
All right, Brunar89 says, do you like any sports games? They don't need Adderall to be got at. I disagree with you, sir. When you go to a competitive level of Madden, you sure as hell need some Adderall because you need to make those split-second decisions
good Lord.
on where to throw the ball, what routes you want to do, what routes you want to jump. So I
So
would.
it's like being a real quarterback.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of the sports genre. I apparently got a little bit on a no-no list for Madden for a couple of years, simply because I stated, and this is just an opinion. I'm not saying it was true. Maybe it was true. So what I said was that, in my opinion, the creators of Madden, which by the way is Tiburon, it's in Orlando, they had this huge corkboard across the entire back of the room. And on it was listed every single feature of the game. And then they handed out to the senior producer 2 darts. One dart was called the feature dart, and the second dart was called the slightly broken dart. It wasn't actually broken. It just had the tagline of slightly broken. And they would throw the dart in 1 and 2. Go, oh, running back spin moves. That's gonna be enhancement. Oh no, quarterback scrambling. It's gonna have a slight. So you have to pay $60 every single year. Also, the fact is that every single time you have, was it 2 years back is when you have online play. So if you have Madden, let's see, we're about to get 19, I think. 19, 18, you have online access. 17, you're done, which I don't like at all. Tiger Woods Golf. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they should be making Tiger Woods Golf anymore because Tiger Woods, sure,
still a name.
he's a big ass name, but he's not as relevant as he was since he crashed his car and got smashed over the head by his ex-wife with a golf club. Why are MOBAs so damn popular? To be honest with you, there's a lot of strategy, there's a lot of action to it.
I think because I have two reasons. One is, at least the popular MOBAs.
Yeah.
It's free to play done right.
Yep.
It's not pay to win.
Nope.
And two, it's easy to pick up. Like, you could jump in. Think about, strategy games. Let's just take Witcher, for instance.
Yeah.
That's a complicated game. It's easy to get lost in what's going on because there's so much. Whereas you play a MOBA, you're done in an hour at the most. The game is over. It's very easy to pick up and jump into, I think. But obviously, it's very hard to master.
The question is, are you able to truly get into that, or will the level of toxicity spit you out before you actually figure out, is this really a game I want to play?
And that's what happened to me with Smite. I just got tired of the toxicity. But I also enjoyed, I think the gameplay is very satisfying in most MOBAs. Like, you get in there, even if you're terrible at a MOBA, chances are you can at least kill minions, for instance.
Right.
Right? You can do something you feel useful.
Right.
Like, let's just take Overwatch. If you're terrible as a DPS Overwatch, you're just going to die over and over without killing something. At least in Overwatch, even as a healer, in MOBAs, even as a healer in a MOBA, you're going to at least kill minions. And you still actually have most healers, you don't have a mercy basically in MOBAs. Most MOBAs, even the healers, still have pretty decent offensive capabilities in some regard.
Or just annoying as shit.
Yes, but they can still do functional.
Damn you, Aphrodite!
Functional offensive activities even as a healer. And I think the other difference in a MOBA is, I know there's exceptions and such. There's always exceptions.
Right.
You play a MOBA, or you play an FPS. It's very easy to narrow out who the weak link in your team is. In a MOBA, unless you're intentionally feeding another team, it's really not until the end game where you're like, oh, you're the terrible player. A lot of times you can kind of just play along, and anytime there's a team fight, you just kind of run away, and now you don't get a death.
Right.
Whereas, so I just think it's really easy to just kind of jump into MOBAs. Doesn't mean they're easier to play. Just from a entry-level standpoint, the bar is very low to at least get into.
What do you think about Hearthstone?
The card games just don't do it. I've tried them, I've played them, and they just don't. I just get bored of them.
To be honest with you, I suck at Hearthstone. I've tried so many times to get into Hearthstone because back in the day, me and Zelius were pretty good at Magic the Gathering.
I got my 4th edition Ice Age decks. Yeah.
4th edition? My God, that's too new for me.
My goodness, where's your alpha and beta decks with your Black Lotus that you can pay your mortgage off with?
Yeah. No, man, all I had was Magic Mirror and Lich.
I really wish I invested in my Black. I remember when the Black Lotus was $100, and oh my gosh, that is so much money for a Magic card.
Yeah, I know.
If only I had a crystal ball.
Yeah.
But Hearthstone, I've never played Paragon, by the way. Hearthstone, to me, it just there's a little bit too. See, here's my problem with. I think my biggest issue with Hearthstone is on the esports level. Like you're representing a team, right? But you're an individual, and so are you? I don't understand. It's not a team activity. It's not like you got Smite, you got Paladins, you got Overwatch, you've got League of Legends. You have 5 or 6 guys who are training nonstop, and you're under the banner of, I don't know, Cloud9 or something. But now you're Cloud9 for Hearthstone. It's you. I understand. I guess for me it'd be Bobby McGee, sponsored by Cloud9 would make more sense. I don't know. There are quite a few card games out there like Hearthstone, and also Hand of Gods by Smite, which has definitely got a shit ton of iterations, but yeah, I don't play any of those. JStev1 goes, what games are you guys playing right now? Well, currently, I'm not playing any games because I'm talking to you. But to be honest with you, on the PC, I'm playing Paladins and Slay the Spire. And on my cell phone, I'm playing Almost Wannabe Heroes and I can't remember what the other game is. But it's basically, what the fuck is that other one called? Something, I don't know. It's got RPG elements, and there's different characters that do different activities, but it's kind of like a pinball type of thing, where your character's here. You pull back, and then when you release, it's gonna beep, 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 beep.
I'm currently playing on my iPhone. It's a game called Land of Livia, and the reason I like that is I wouldn't call it an idle game, but basically
Hyper Heroes.
But basically, you go from like area to area in this game, and you do quest. But like, you just say, I want to try this quest, and a half hour and a half later, depending on how far in the game you are,
Jesus, an hour on a cell phone game?
you get
What's wrong with you?
success or failure.
Oh,
So it's one of those things you can just kind of check back in every once in a while
Oh,
during
it's
the
like
day.
it auto.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
It's
sorry.
not like you are actively going
Oh, yeah,
after
sorry.
an hour. Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, you say
You send them on quest.
Yeah, you say attempt a quest,
Okay.
and you just put the phone aside, and it's just you just check out every once in a while.
All
That's
right,
why I
that
like
makes
it.
more sense.
Back at home though, I'm playing Overwatch.
Hello.
And the reason I'm playing Overwatch is I like RPGs and strategy games like Civilization 5, you know, all the Civ games I've played. But like, I'm just at a point right now with like school and my extracurriculars where I just don't have time to invest like, 50 to 100 hours in a game. I'm just not at that point. And I could over like a span of time. And like, if I play a game like that, I want it to be like in a condensed period of time. You know what I mean? So I want it to be like boom. Because the problem I have with video games, like, okay, for instance, about a month ago, I started playing Tomb Raider. I really enjoyed the 2014 version of Tomb Raider. And I really enjoyed it. Phenomenal, great game. The problem I have with video games is so last week I went to a robotics tournament. I'm gone for a week. I get back. It's like if I don't play a video game like that actually has like a story and stuff you have to remember for like a week or two, I just don't come back to it.
You don't keep a gaming journal?
Versus a game like
Hello?
Versus a game like Overwatch.
Today, Laura went over here.
Yes.
We hid the stash over here.
Versus Overwatch, where you pick it any like I hadn't played Overwatch in probably 6 months. And just last week I picked it up again. So like a game like that, I can just boom, pick up, no muss, no fuss. Where a more complicated game.
Are you shitting me? I would so easy. If I were to take off time for Paladins
Okay.
and Tomb Raider, I would much more easily fall back into Tomb Raider than Paladins, simply because with Paladins you're immediately going into an online competitive environment.
But you automatically like you're thrown into. You don't have to like think about like, wait, where was I? I have to open up my quest journal.
You know, there's an amazing game called the quest journal,
Yes.
the controls, and potentially when you start the game, you're going to be in a weird ass place anyways. It's
Yes.
not on rails. So you'd be like, oh, I will regain my abilities of how to scale trees and stab people in the back of the head, and then I'll feel comfortable. The question was asked, are you guys more so mobile gamers?
I'm not.
No. However, it is very nice to have a wide variety of games on your mobile device, just in case you need some alone time.
So I've probably played. I can't remember how many mobile games I've played for a grand total of like an hour.
Oh God, yes.
Like so many games, I've been like, meh, that sounds interesting. Why not? And then like they hold my attention for like a night.
Yeah.
And then, like, I forget what was ever even on my phone.
Oh,
And then I'm like,
no, not really.
what is this? Like, actually, I just did that before the show. I deleted like 6 games off my phone. Because I had to open up in God knows how long. So I do that all the time. Like, Land of Livia is probably the first iPhone game I've played for like more than like a month in a row for a long, long time. Because, yeah, the problem with iPhone games,
They drain the shit out of your battery.
I don't care about that. So my main issue with most mobile games, the majority of them, there's always exceptions, is when they create their games. So earlier we started the show talking about free to win versus free to play games, right? So many mobile games go in with the mindset of like, okay, how can we make this game play to win and then maybe make it fun to players? Like they reverse the way of making games enjoyable to me. And it shows very quickly that all these games, yes, they have polish, they have fun things in it to get you sucked in, but it's very evident that's not just pay to win, it's pay to play in the sense that if you want to succeed, you got to pay money to actually level up your character and all this stuff. And so very quickly I turned off because of how it's very evident that they go in with that mindset of like, okay, we're going to create a game to acquire players to really pay money to succeed.
So the question is asked, do you guys feel you play more in and out games than longer dedicated games than you did when you were younger? So I'll be frank with you. I'm older than you are, JStev1. And I would say that when I was just a wee lad, I played the shit out of some Japanese RPGs.
Oh my.
But I have no fucking patience for it now. I don't have the time to drop 100 hours into a single game.
Wait, what about your gaming journals? So you can just continue a year from now, pick up where you left off.
All right, so I had a gaming journal.
And then my children keep drawing in it.
No!
Therefore, it ruins it. That and the vast majority of games, such as Tomb Raider, is probably a maximum maybe 20 hours.
Sure.
And for me, that's well in my wheelhouse. I just don't have enough time to do like, I don't know, a 34-hour tutorial before I actually get to play the real Final Fantasy game. That shit's weird.
Hello,
and
Final
stupid.
Fantasy.
Was it
13?
Yeah, 13. That's dumb as shite. But definitely, I feel like now, you because of like the time restrictions that you have on your daily life, it's much easier to have a game in which you can jump in and jump out and feel satisfied or feel like you've accomplished something. Because a lot of these like grind games, you're just like, I just spent 4 hours to level up twice and I still can't get anywhere in the game. Versus I just played for 4 hours. I won 7 out of my 10 matches. I feel like a fucking champ.
And here's the thing, my problem too is, so when it comes, the games I spent the longer dedicated time on was overwhelmingly the civilization type of games. And the problem is, yes, I know there's new civilizations. You have different variations of the Civilization series depending on different franchises. But no matter which version of Civilization it is, after playing for a couple hours, I'm like, by God, I spent hundreds of hours, probably thousands of hours playing Civilization in my life. So in the end, it's like, is this really a new game? Probably like the last game that I really played that really, MMOs inside, because I am an MMO junkie.
Yes,
like the
he is.
last non-MMO game that really sucked me in was really Banished.
I didn't play it.
So Banished is basically, it's a city build. It's not even a city, don't even think of it like SimCity. It's not even like SimCity.
That fucking messed up game.
Yeah, you build like your little civilization, like from and you have like all your people, and that's like really the last game that really sucked me in from a longer dedicated game. But even then, the so-called dedicated games can be somewhat overwhelming. Like the really big one now that everybody talks about is Factorio.
I have no idea what that is.
So basically, it's an indie Steam game that people talk about a lot, and I've tried it.
Is it early access?
I don't know if it's early access, but it's fairly, it's well polished. It's not like, what is it, this game? And I just become so overwhelmed with all the stuff to do, where all I could see myself was playing Factorio for the next 8 years. But there's all these other great games to play too, and that's the other part of it too, I think. I could spend 100 hours on a JRPG, or I could spend play five
Or you
20-hour
could,
great games.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the other part of is a great game need to really be 100 hours anymore? And there's always going to be people who enjoy those 100-hour JRPGs, which is great.
Well, you look at a game like Skyrim or any of the Elder Scrolls, where you could sink tens of hundreds of hours in it. Or if you're an absolute crazy person, or just trying to be a dick going, I don't think I got my money's worth, you could actually complete, I think it was Skyrim, you could complete in 2 hours and 16 minutes or something. If you wanted to do that, but you don't have to do that. Brunar89 says, I just turned 29, and with my gaming experience from an early age, I can tell you that I enjoyed games more when I was younger for sure. But I still enjoy them at this age, but not so much. Once again, I love games. I really do. But there are certain games that when I look back on, I'm like, oh man, it's amazing. But I would never play them again because one, I don't want to destroy nostalgia. And two, I'm like, how the fuck did I spend that much time on a game?
I remember spending so much time playing Master of Magic.
Yes, God, yes.
And I kind of feel because I don't want to go back and play it, because guess what's probably going to happen if I go back and play it?
Oh God, this looks bad. It looks silly, it's stupid. Why would you do that? But I will tell you this. This is one thing that I truly, truly miss, is the fact that single-player games could be played offline. Okay? I don't need this online always bullshit. Okay, follow-up question. Are single-player games losing their oomph due to the time restrictions for most working individuals? It's an argument because single-player games require you to dedicate yourself, and plus, they come out so often. Okay. Let me get back on my soup. Let me get on my soapbox for a second.
Please do.
One.
One.
There are a lot of games coming out. But, however, a lot of those games, even if they're single player, have to be online always, which is bullshit because as a single player, I don't need to have an online piece. However, it's verification, blah,
But you
blah,
could
blah.
be pirating the game.
True.
Sir.
The other thing is, if you want to break down the cost of how much it costs to create a single player game versus a multiplayer game, it's much more lucrative for the company, the publisher and the developer, to create a multiplayer game than a single player game. So, when you have a single player game, there's got to be the right balance. And if they don't get the balance right, you're either going to be really pissed because the game's going to be over really soon, or it's going to be boring as shit. The best way that I could break it down for you, let's just say, I'm just going to throw a number out on the top of my head. Let's say that your single player game costs $350 million, okay? Now, that's really hard to, you would think, oh yeah, that's probably right.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. However, when you the thing is, when you do like the cost analysis breakdown, a lot of that money is spent on things that an individual will see once. A cinematic scene, a specific location. And of course, single player games try to like dick around and like, well, you have to go through this location a shit ton of times just so that we're getting our money's worth. And you just get frustrated because like, I don't need to go there. I should be able to just go, unless you got the Skyrim bug in which it does not allow for fast travel, and you literally have to walk from edge of map to other edge of map until they fix it.
But I think the other point to that question too, though, is you kind of look at the demographics of who plays what game.
Right.
You know, you look at our generation, and we were raised. There's always exceptions, of course, but we were raised mostly on the single-player games.
Yes.
I mean, I know there's like the Quake Online and stuff, but for the most part,
Quake Arena, man. It's Quake Arena.
but for the most part, we were playing the single-player games for hot seat games.
Actually, real quick side note, if you played Quake Arena back in the day and you ever came up against a gentleman by the name of Yo Mama, that was my dad.
Nice. So for the most part, we were raised on those single-player kind of campaign type of games. We look, I think about school with my robotics team, and I've never heard a kid at school talk about a single-player game. They just don't.
It's so sad.
You know what they talk about? They talk about Fortnite or Overwatch. They talk PUBG. They talk about
League of Legends.
online games.
Hearthstone.
That's what the current generation of gamers is being raised on, is really quick, easy to access games.
Well, okay, so real quick, Bruner goes, well, if you are not that picky, you can enjoy any game. I played Grand Theft Auto 5 for 2 or 3 months, and I couldn't manage finishing in a single month. But for me, game was so good that exactly. If it's something, this is why a lot of people play a shit ton of time in Skyrim. They enjoy the environment. They get lost in the world, and that's totally cool. Do that if that's your prerogative. Well, the thing is, if going back to cost analysis, is that when you have a single player game, okay, unless you're really wackadoo crazy, unless the developer's really freaking talented, everyone's gonna have the exact same experience at exact same points. However, in a multiplayer thing, be like, you remember that match where we came back from being down 10 kills and we won by 1 kill? It was amazing. You were amazing on that rocket launch. It was amazing. You don't have that with single player games because you don't have that camaraderie. Because the vast majority of the time, you have it by yourself. You'd be like, do you remember in Zelda when this happened? You'd be like, I kind of do. I don't know if it exactly happened that way for me. Bruner goes, one of my first games on PS1 was Quake 2. I will never forget when my friend got multi-tap and 4 of us played on the small TV and enjoyed it. Yes,
GoldenEye,
multi-tap.
man. GoldenEye 64.
Yes, split screen of awesomeness.
The only way to play GoldenEye 64 is watching your friend's screen and just move your character around based on
You
what you
son
saw
of
on
a
the radar.
bitch! And also, no odd job. For the love of all's holy, no one's allowed to play this odd job. You dick! Just, hey everybody, I'm right below you. I'm just gonna shoot you in the knees. I'm crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Zelius, keep talking.
Apparently, Charlie's had enough of the show. And
I'm
he's saying
leaving.
goodbye.
I'll be right back.
Sayonara, mofos. I don't like you anymore, which
I'll
I
be
totally
back.
understand.
I'll be back.
I played a lot of Skyrim, still didn't get all the special masks, and didn't play the DLC. See, here's my problem with games like Skyrim and Witcher and these kind of like open world games. I'm not gonna lie, I need a game on rails. Like, I played Skyrim, I tried, and I just got like overwhelmed. I'm like, there's so many things to do, I don't know what to do. I could do this, I could kill a guard, I could steal stuff. There might be a main story quest, I don't know, there might be. So when it comes to a video game, especially like RPGs, I just need it on rails. Same things with, I know that Dragon Age Origins is amazing, but again, there's too many things to do in the game. I just get overwhelmed. My brain can't handle it all. Oh no!
No, see, Zelia said that he couldn't do like if he took some time off for Tomb Raider, he'd be completely lost. Just think about it if he was in a sandbox world, an open world.
No,
he would.
I'd cry.
He would cry.
I'd be like, ah!
And then I'd have to deal with
me.
it. No, I wouldn't have to deal with it. His cat would have to deal with
Yes.
it.
I'd cry in her fur.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was I going to say? There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, damn it, I forgot.
All right. Yeah.
I miss the days of LAN parties. I miss the
Thank you,
days of
Steve.
split screen. I miss the days where
But now I could kill you.
you got an entire game.
I could kill you with this.
Or close. Or you could get close to a complete game. If it wasn't complete, it's simply because they missed a bug. What are you doing?
I'm killing you with my phone.
What, you got radiation coming out?
Only you knew.
My brain's getting scrambled. But yeah. Yes, they are mad crazy. They are indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, apparently we've reached that time where the show is supposed to end. However, we do want to do a couple of shout-outs, if we may.
You
All right.
may, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of May, there's a phenomenal convention that's happening in Atlanta, Georgia. And that, of course, Atlanta, Georgia, not Jordan. Atlanta, Georgia, at the Georgia World Congress Center called MomoCon. MomoCon is basically the second largest convention in Atlanta. Second only to DragonCon.
The con of cons for Atlanta.
Ultra Confusion will be at MomoCon. Red Dead Redemption. Probably. I might not play it right off the bat, but I'm very interested to see where it goes.
I'll wait when it's less than $10 on Steam.
He's the bargain bin man. But anyways, MomoCon is happening at the end of May. We'll be there. We'll be giving 2 panels, or I'll be giving 2 panels. I don't know who the hell is going to actually show up today, or who's going to be my presenters. But I'll also be media. So if you do come to MomoCon, chances are you're going to see me sprinting back and forth because I'll have my media pass and we'll be interviewing people. Where'd my mic go? It disappeared.
That's crazy.
And then let's see here. Yeah, so come by the table. We have a fan table, by the way. Yes.
Yay, we have fans!
And a table. Let's see. If you do want to follow us on any of the social media platforms that we have at your disposal, you of course can follow us at Facebook.
At Facebook. No, at Ultra Confusion.
You can follow us on the YouTube.
Ultra Confusion LLC.
Now, I do want to point out that every single one of our live shows does go on YouTube. It sometimes, it might take a little bit of time because I am doing everything behind the scenes. But if you want to catch up on anything that you missed, it's on YouTube. We also do a podcast, an audio version of this, where unfortunately you don't get to see our pretty faces. And you don't get to see the chat. Well, this is a kind of a new thing, but you won't be able to see the chat because it is audio only. And you can get that podcast on the iTunes Podcast Store. You, of course, can go to our website
At www.ultraconfusion.com.
And if you are watching this on YouTube and not live on Twitch, you can always go to our Twitch channel,
Ultra Confusion.
which is twitch.tv/ultraconfusion. Yeah. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the most important one is, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to follow us on Twitter, I know that you do, please follow us.
At Ultra Confusio without the N because...
The N would break the internet.
Oh my!
Ladies and gentlemen, one other quick thing, and that is, of course, that Ultra Confusion does have a Patreon. Patreon, of course, is your way of being able to give back to us. If you like what we're doing, and you would like to get, do like a monthly support thing. Anywhere from $1 up. You can go to patreon.com/alterconfusion and you can pledge there. If you feel that you are not comfortable doing a monthly donation, but you still want to give a monetary donation, you of course can click on the Donate Now button. And it goes straight to our PayPal and goes into the Alter Confusion thing. I do want, and if you need me to sign some shit to make you like 100% cool or safe with it, I will. The money that goes to Alter Confusion is for Alter Confusion only. We utilize it for the new camera we're using right now. We also utilize it for paying for electricity for conventions, because this is really weird. It's not many people will know this, but when you have a table, even if it's free, you have to pay for electricity. And
You have to pay for all that coal.
I think Kanuga is 127. No, Kanuga was 79, and Momocon is 127. So that shit ain't cheap. But also, we utilize that money to be able to go to other conventions. We were saving money to go to the Big Fan of Greenville, which was going to be in Greenville, South Carolina. However, that's been canceled. So
Did that buy the webcam?
yes,
Nice.
as a
It
result,
looks beautiful. I'm a fan. My facial head looks good.
we need to work a little bit on the lighting. Because I've got lighting, and I guess we really actually have to use it now to try to figure out. But anyways, trying to think if there's any other shout outs we need to do.
Those are the main shoutouts. Patreon, MobileCon, the lovely people, or places.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. Be aware that every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we do this show. If there is a change in schedule, you can, of course, figure it out on any of our social media platforms. But your best bet, my friends, is to go to Discord. And if you're not on our Discord channel just yet, and you're watching this live on Twitch, just do the exclamation mark Discord. If you are not watching this live and you're watching record, just hit us up in any of the comments and we will give you the link to join. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout for myself, Charlie and Zelius. It's been a pleasure to give you everything coming out of our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back soon, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, if you enjoy watching streaming of gameplay and my beautiful voice possibly coming in and out of the gameplay, because sometimes I do lose myself and I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be talking. I do a live stream every Sunday and Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 11. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you soon.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.